On the 17th episode of the American Reveille Podcast, James Lane weaves together an Independence Day sequel that surprisingly doesn't suck and blows your mind like Rogan on DMT on a fighter jet. Not only will you love it, you'll also learn something. Please place seatbacks and tray tables in their full upright position and prepare for liftoff. Good day, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. I said good day. I said good day, sir. Okay, anyway, the much anticipated, not sucking sequel to Independence Day never ever happened. So here we are, doing a sequel to Independence Day themed visualization challenge that's going to be better than the actual movie sequel itself. We don't even have cameras yet in this place, all right? Let me first give a massive shout out to everyone new on all my social media platforms, especially Facebook. We had a little growth spurt over the last week, so I am very happy to finally actually have some folks to interact with and give some of this knowledge to. So you guys made my week, and I thank all of you. And don't worry, folks that have been here since the beginning, I have not, nor will I forget you. As this thing grows, so will we, and we'll probably be adding some giveaways, raffles, different things like that over time. But I just want you to know that I appreciate every single one of you. Now, let's talk about Chaz for a second. And I don't mean Brendan Fraser from the 90s movie Airheads. I'm talking about this area about 45 minutes north of where I live here in Puyallup, Washington, with a bunch of dumb white kids that were raised with distant parents and social media since birth and unfortunately are attached from consequences and reality. So look, they've been getting away with this stuff online for a long time, and I don't think they really understand what's inevitably going to happen to them when this gets cleaned up. So all I can say, I guess, is pray for the lost sheep. Anyway, amidst all this chaos and uncertainty, one would actually think it's kind of befitting that we're doing the sequel to the Independence Day episode right during this week here. You know, President Reagan once addressed the UN General Assembly back in 1987, and he said, "Perhaps we need some outside universal threat. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from an outside world." Well, folks, maybe that's the finale for 2020. I mean, then maybe everybody will come together. Hey, look, I'm only saying what everybody else is thinking, all right? We've had murder hornets, COVID-19, riots in the streets, all kinds of craziness. We might as well have a great flood or an asteroid or an alien invasion, all right? So anyway, on with the show. Let's play catch up minus the tomatoes. We're talking about a powerful visualization method that is rapidly evolving into a way to possibly differentiate pathways to success. By labeling specific characters from the movie Independence Day as parts of you that you'll need to develop and utilize to find success, we unlock a template for visualizing strategic pathways. Yeah, I know. If you haven't heard the first part of this episode, I suggest you grab a drink and check out episode 16. And if you don't want to, guess I'll do the best I can to provide you the following professional recap. Earth receives a signal and starts to process it. The signal makes its way to the White House. This signal is your awakening. You realizing an opportunity approaches. Let's list the characters by actor and personality trait indicative of representing you, my friends. Will Smith represents courage. Jeff Goldblum represents logic. Vivica A. Fox represents risk. Margaret Collin reps rationality. Judge Hirsch reps growth and change. Randy Quaid reps your crazy, don't give a damn side. Mary McDonnell reps unstifled emotion. General Gray goes good with ethics. Mr. Nimzicki stands in line with knee-jerk reactions and Pressfield's resistance. And of course, the president, Bill Pullman, is you, the umbrella over the entire cast. Keep going? Look, just go listen to the last episode, episode 16, and it'll all make sense. This is about practicing the art of grand visualization, the art of adapting your own life to imagery and audio that could help you achieve your goals in life. People write these things the decisions made in these movies, they're all based upon real human nature and can be adapted to anything. Like I said, people write these things. The most successful people in the world visualize through whatever medium they must to do big things in their lives. And you could harness that energy as well. You think Elon Musk doesn't seek inspiration from all kinds of different things? It isn't exclusive. It's out there for the taking. And this is just how I do it. You can easily use this as a template to develop your own methods of visualization. Anyway, we left off staring at these 3 preserved alien exoskeletons floating in what seemed to be a preservative substance like formaldehyde. Not unlike the 3 seashells from Demolition Man, the 3 alien bodies in the giant test tubes are mind-boggling. Just as mind-boggling as the choices we make determining which path we may follow in our own lives. And this just in, a new path awaits you. We've got a live one. I guess we could now say the aliens represent the concept of maybe choice and what those choices possibly lead to, maybe a path. Look, we're making this up as we go, okay? By the way, Dr. Oaken, the big gray-haired idiot, he is an idiot, by the way. He stands for nothing in my sequel here. He dies in the movie, and for some reason, he's alive in the second movie, in the real movie. He's not included in meaning anything to our success, nor is he included in my sequel, just like he shouldn't have been in the real one to begin with. The only thing he was suitable for in the movie is leading us to the path. He's kind of a filler. Kind of like the jelly inside of a donut. The spaceship, the big tamale, that's what we're reaching for. Look, anyhow, you want to see my clearance? No? Then maybe I'll just leave this here with you. We roll the alien into the hangar fresh from getting Welcome to Earth by Will Smith. Could this be a possible pathway? Some much needed information to guide us to the right moves, the right decisions? Let's find out. Meanwhile, in the background, General Gray and Mr. Nimziki continue to bicker and bullshit in the control room. This is indicative of the struggle to keep the balance within ourselves. As we grow, as we progress towards our goals, we reshape ourselves against the world, not the other way around. We learn how to get where we need to go until we finally get there, or don't. Some things stay, some things go, but if we're strong enough to learn how to control ourselves and grow ourselves, at this point, we won't have to focus on ourselves. We'll be reconnoitering the area of opportunity ahead. What? Reconnoiter? Yeah, so what? I like the word. It's one of my favorite words. Reconnoiter. Look, it's defined as making a military observation, gathering intel, data, surveying the area with a damn purpose. Reconnoiter. So you've been and are currently in the process of reconnoitering as everyone addresses Bill Pullman and feeds him the information necessary so that you can make the best decisions possible as to achieving the long-term goal at hand. Unfortunately, when you're trying to achieve successes, especially big successes, life seems to start fighting you. The way the system is set up, no matter your color, your race, your creed, it's your tax bracket that's meant to keep you in your place. Breaking through this is not impossible. It's just really, really, really difficult. And that's why I actually love capitalism, because it's friggin' hard to make it, but at least it's possible. And then when I do make it, no one's really coming to take it away. Not like they would in other places around the world. And if you disagree with this, I want you to compare other countries and their level of opportunity with ours. If you haven't left this country, you have no point of reference. Your foundations are already destroyed, and you need to shut up. Speaking of destroyed, Will Smith, Captain Stephen Hiller, Courage, he's anxious to get back to El Toro, but Rob Loggia, General Gray, Ethics Honor, informs him that El Toro's been completely destroyed. Setbacks occur all the time, even when we get small wins, even when we start breaking through, even after we achieve successes, setbacks are always a reality. Sometimes our courage gets shaken and needs a new plan to fight for. Meanwhile, Jasmine's out doing humanitarian stuff and camping out. Sometimes Risk needs to take a sideline position for a few rounds. Yes, I recognize I'm not talking about the president's wife yet. We'll get there. It's depressing enough. Speaking of depression, let's get this stinky space alien's biomechanical suit off before he wakes up and shit. bang, crash, kaboom, kapow. We have a few dead scientists, and of course, damn Dr. Oaken's been taken around the throat. You figure, by the way, they'd have him on like an alien IV or something, but no. Anyway, it works for our episode. Fast forward a few minutes, and you're face to face with the alien. Bill Pullman and the crew, not to mention the dude that betrayed Mel Gibson in The Patriot. He's there. We just don't care about him, nor do we use him. The alien, standing ominously tall and looming forward, beckons you to bow to its will, yet you try and find a middle ground. Is there an easy path to my success? Is there a fast track to my goals? Some secret that I'm missing? Looking through the glass of the smoke-filled examination room, sparks falling from the damaged ceiling fixtures, Bill Pullman speaks directly to the alien. And you speak directly to your possible destiny. You ask, I know there is much we can learn from each other if we can just negotiate a truce. We can find a way to coexist. Can there be a peace between us? The alien responds telepathically, and inside your head you hear your destiny say back to you, peace? No peace. Distraught, recognizing the path will be a difficult one, we beg to the universe one more time, hoping for relief. What is it you want us to do? And destiny responds back, die. It wants us to die. You finally realize the truth. Destiny stares you in the face, and at this point, you have a choice to make. And what is that choice? The choice is to lay down and do exactly what the status quo expects from you. Precisely what makes you not an outlier. Or do you grind the hard road? Day in, day out, ever evolving, ever changing, snaking your way through twists and turns, reconnoitering, learning, readjusting the strategy and continuing. Do we do exactly what the aliens want? Do we die? Or do we come back with a resolve, the likes of which our obstacles have never seen? We can now see what we have to do to survive. In fact, to succeed, to thrive. Let's nuke the bastards. This is the point in life where we stay amateurs or we start to become the professionals we were meant to be. In the spirit of finishing this episode correctly, we'll be choosing the option that doesn't include mental and professional death. We fight with nukes. Kaboom, motherfucker! This is the point in life where we grind forward no matter what. We just keep going regardless of what's in front of us. We start to build momentum, and when we begin to throw nuclear bombs at the obstacles in front of us, now, just as the nukes didn't work in the movie all the time, the target remains in real life too. But now we're players. Now we're at least in the game. Now we at least have weapons at our disposal. Now we're getting mobile. Now we're building the foundations, the pathways, the connections, the partnerships necessary to keep building steam, to keep the momentum going. We just have to keep the train rolling down the tracks and keep making adjustments to ourselves and our decision-making process until we crack the code. That's the big secret. That's it. With the alien spaceship around the world signifying this challenge that we all face on our way up any ladder or down any path, we begin to take our problems with the knowledge that every failure leads us closer to success and that the struggle has to happen. It can't be avoided and it must be organic. The nuke doesn't destroy the alien spaceship over Houston. Still, you definitely get your point across. You start making moves internally and externally, working towards shedding qualities that hold you back and building relationships while making choices that lead you closer toward your ultimate goals, utilizing a wide range of qualities that we've replaced by using the characters of the movie Independence Day. See where this is going, folks? So, David and Constance have a fight, and Steve steals a helicopter to go pick up Jasmine and the First Lady. We are, in essence, assembling our crew for the final battles to break the barriers toward your success. These knee-jerk reactions are starting to more and more become a problem, and emotions are running high. Decisions are going to have to be made, life-altering decisions that can literally make or break your future. Courage returns to El Toro and finds risk and emotion camping on charred, fiery grounds, where a movie set used to be, in fact. When we get back, we're going to deliver the First Lady to the President. Bill Pullman's starting to get his stuff together, and we need to get out of this not only alive, but also to thrive. In times like these, you need to get up. You need to take a walk to the bathroom, take a piss, wash your hands, splash some water on your face, squeeze the sides of your temples together in your hands, and gently weep. Because we're not done yet. This thing gets even deeper, my friends. Your brain hurts because this stuff is hard. Life is hard. Achieving success is so much harder than people make it look. So stop giving up and start putting in the damn work. Don't even think about immediate results. Just grind and grind and grind and grind. Word of mouth is slow for everything these days and can take years if you just make a stand for your freedom and you grind it out. Your freedom will come to you. I can remember when I started using tuition assistance while I was in the Navy to work on an associate's degree. I just kept going. No matter how many setbacks, I just kept going, and I eventually defeated it. The same went for my bachelor's, and the same went for my master's. I just kept grinding, and I'm still grinding. I still haven't celebrated a single damn degree because in my mind, I'm not done yet. It's all mindset, guys. Now I'm a PhD student, and I'll be starting my dissertation by January, and I still haven't even reflected on it. Strategically, I've reflected on it, but emotionally, I haven't even processed it yet. I'm just grinding. So guys, you need to just grind until something gives. Ladies and gentlemen, look, I really appreciate you taking the time to hear me out, and I would love it if you would take the time to get in touch with me on social media or through my email at jameslane@americanreveille.com and let me know what you think about the show, what episodes you like best, how we can do better, and really what kind of topics you'd like us to talk about as we're exploring a lot of different directions. I just want to say thanks, everyone, and we'll be right back after a few words of shameless self-promotion in the hopes that we can build more fans and friends and keep it growing.
Reveille Podcast with James Lane would like to take a moment to thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to tune into the show. It's because of great fans like you that we strive to deliver the best quality content one can create as fast as one can fling the pen. With that being said, a good little boy never misses his opportunity to sell himself, and though James would never ask you for your money, he would like to let you know that if you absolutely love this podcast, the writing, the art, its production, anything, please do us the personal favor of liking, sharing, tweeting, texting, and talking about this podcast. James Lane is a father, a husband, a U.S. Navy veteran, and is personally committed to the success of the American Reveille Podcast. Please email James Lane directly at podcast@AmericanReveille.com, or please visit our website at www.AmericanReveille.com. Now, let's get back to the show.
All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second half of the second part of the Independence Day Vision Quest extravaganza, or whatever you want to call it. So really quick, I have to ask, is AOC capable of raising millions and millions of dollars because people legitimately believe in her views and policy points? Or do you think it's because C-SPAN is boring and people need some reality show like comic relief, like the Kardashians or Married with Children or something? I was a bouncer for years, so maybe, just maybe, I should start considering a run for Congress. At least by the time I won, I'd be the only one that used to be in the bar business with a PhD in the house. I also wouldn't be making crappy margaritas on social media, talking nonsense that a fifth grader could poke holes through while Capitol Hill's burning 45 minutes north. Anyway, I digress. The alien threat is upon us. After our encounters with the alien, with destiny, after deciding to fight, it's time to shuck and jive. We make moves, and parts of us shed like a snakeskin. Parts of us that hindered us begin to wither and die. Risk and courage reunite and shepherd emotion back to Area 51 on life support, struggling to figure out what moves are next. We realize that we have no more room for untethered emotion. Controlling our emotions and utilizing them when needed is the only way to break through specific barriers once you reach a certain point of success in life. It's at this point the president says goodbye to the first lady and she dies in the hospital from internal bleeding, as Bill Pullman tells his on-screen daughter that mommy's sleeping. As a father of daughters, that scene actually hits me hard, a tearjerker indeed, and underrated to boot. Either way, we kill off the emotional side of ourselves and allow for a more controlled and calculating stoicism to wash over us. Our team is coming together. We look towards our logical side, the side that solves the puzzles as it's frantically searching for answers. As we can see, David's having a breakdown and his father consoles him. Judd Hirsch, growth, as I mentioned before, tells David to get up off the floor before he catches a cold. The Muse speaks directly to David in this scene, and he realizes he can take down the enemy's shield with a computer virus. Life works in weird ways like this, folks. Just as you're in the worst moments of your life, deep in the trenches, drowning with no hope of survival, little glimmering gems illuminate themselves to those with open eyes, those that are searching. Growth is often painful, and sometimes we must suffer a little bit for the right pathway to be revealed to us. So wake up. We have work to do. David begins to hatch a plan, waking up the lab coat-strewn scientist next to him. He begins crafting a computer virus that will take down the force field surrounding the alien crafts and their mothership. You begin carving out the plans that will take you down the path towards achieving your ultimate goals. We begin to pull everyone together around the captured spacecraft in the haze-gray underground bunker at Area 51. After a shoddy demonstration, followed by a much better demonstration, shout out to Tesla, our logic begins to convince ourselves and the ones around us of our master plans. Now, according to Jeff Goldblum, that master plan is to fly the captured spacecraft from Area 51 into outer space, dock with the mothership, and upload the virus directly to that mothership. This action will clear the path for more wins as we approach the finish line. If all else fails, we also blow up the mothership with a nuke. But we'll get to that soon. Ethics asks Logic, how much time will this give us to mount a counterattack? Logic says a matter of minutes. Not the best option, but what choice do we have at this point? I'll tell you what choice we have. We have the choice of failure by succumbing to what Pressfield called resistance. It's our own self-sabotage, that thing inside you that gives you 1,000 reasons not to finish something. Mr. Nimzicki, the Secretary of Defense, has rapidly transformed into this inevitable character that lives inside of all of us. It isn't fear. It's a culmination of everything that has ever taught us to shut our mouths and stay in our place and live within our tax bracket and just be happy. It's so programmed. It's so deep in us. It's just a part of everybody. The imposter is real and lives within the realm of resistance. At this point, resistance will say and do anything to put the kibosh on any plan, good or bad, because resistance wants you to fail. The path is hard for a damn reason. Most people don't succeed for a damn reason, because it's damn hard. The combined voice of the following characteristics: courage, logic, ethics, calculated risk, rationality, and personal growth, these 5 traits, if you want to call them that, when used in combination with a lubricated discipline, is a lethal force to be reckoned with. The resistance keeps trying to talk us out of our plans. The resistance finds 100 more reasons for us to quit. Still, the discipline in combination with these characteristics are so much louder than resistance can ever be, so much more powerful than resistance will ever be. Warning: when you find yourself in these positions, please remember, for your own sake, that these, the hardest times of our lives, these are the most defining moments, and these moments will decide your future and even your children's futures. Hold on to that for dear life. You're gonna need it. Unsure and uneasy, Jeff Goldblum and Will Smith both agree to deliver the package to the alien mothership, with the president's approval, of course. You agree that it's time for a logical Hail Mary. Remember, we're still learning. We're always still learning. We're always still growing, so you will always have a little bit of uneasiness and a little bit of nervousness. It's normal in anyone trying to do anything other than just surviving at the bottom. To feel this way, that's just normal, and it sure as hell feels better than the slow building dread and regret that builds inside of us over the years in stagnant and sedentary hearts and minds. As the master plan begins to come together, you finally recognize what you need to do within yourself to succeed. We give the biggest middle finger ever to resistance, and we start to produce. We send out a unifying message with the frequency, consistency, and quality of our work and unite the globe through Morse code. We bring people together around us. We recognize we cannot do anything beyond a certain point alone and without help and support. If we have no help or support, then we need to build it from nothing, from scratch. Not bitch and moan, not complain. Plain and simple. The president shoves Mr. Nimzicki against a rack of ruggedized computer monitors and fires him on the spot. Fuck resistance. It will only slow you down or bury you completely. So, as Ron Burgundy would say, news team, assemble. For us, that news team is made up of qualities, characteristics, life lessons, and failures needed to succeed. That's what we're assembling. You're going to have to understand that as we find and achieve more and more successes, life becomes almost like a living chess game. It accelerates. It feels fast-paced. It's stressful. And many people hate this feeling. This is why most people find the best job that they can get, and they just sit there for life, especially if the money's decent. Complacency's delicious, and ignorance is bliss. It's haymakers from here on out, or we will slowly slip back down the ladder. Once you put the pressure on, once you put your foot on the accelerator, you can never take it off. Never. That's just a fact. Always moving forward or forever slipping backwards. I don't know about you, but forward march for me, big dog. So Steve marries Jasmine with David and Constance as witnesses, and this to me signifies an essential combination. The combination of courage, risk, logic, and rationality turns into strategic and calculated decision-making, infused with these four elements, significantly increasing our foresight, decreasing our percentages of failure, and significantly increasing our chances of success. Russell Case, by the way, is still in the picture. He, our crazy side, our true, outside-the-box Hail Mary, volunteers to fly a fighter jet with us in our fight to make it through our path towards accomplishment and achievement. In the meantime, Bill Pullman should have received an Oscar for what I consider to be the best presidential speech ever given in a movie, period. Listen. Achieving anything can be tough, and sometimes internally we have to rally the troops for the big score. And as Bill Pullman so eloquently put it in the movie, the same applies to ourselves internally as we face the prospect of lifelong regret and stagnation or success beyond our wildest dreams. I will not go silently into the night. I'm not going to be another face in the crowd. I'm not going to be another regular person. I refuse to be common. I will not go down without a fight. I will never stop pushing. I will never stop moving forward. You will have to literally kill me to stop me from achieving my goals. No matter how many times I fail, I will keep coming back. I'm going to live on. I'm going to survive. Look, guys, I don't call myself the Jewish cockroach for nothing, all right? You're not gonna stop me. You're not gonna kill me. I'm gonna come out of every drain, every hole, every electrical socket you have in your house. You're just not going to. I've failed so many times and faced so much ruin. I've had to start over from nothing at least a half a dozen times in the epic that's become my life's journey. So today, I celebrate my Independence Day. Welcome to freedom. Welcome to the world of making your own destiny, of taking control. I pray we all celebrate our own Independence Days as more and more of us wake up and take control of our lives. We take to the sky. So with a few hiccups, and remember what I said, the hiccups never stop, life accelerates just as the pace of the movie accelerates. We launch into space with courage and logic at the helm as we load fighter jets with pilots. Moves are continuously changing, and we've developed multiple angles, multiple plans, multiple strategies, multiple paths towards the ultimate accomplishment of our goal. We are danger close now, and every little thing that could go wrong will most likely go wrong as the ultimate goal evolves more and more towards ultimate freedom. Life seems to always throw desperation punches at this point in any story, folks. Still, with our strategic vines deep, widespread, and far-ranging, we're beginning to see the patterns in everything. We're beginning to truly understand what it takes. We become more and more professional as the grind continues. We dock with the mothership, we upload the virus, we become sharp and skilled at shucking and jiving, organizing and prioritizing, more machine than human. No one can outmaneuver us. The virus is in, and we take a shot and miss, but right when we're about to finally break, to give up for good, we decide to try one last time. Eagle 1, Fox 3. It's a direct hit, and wins start pouring in. This is a direct result of momentum from turning the crank for so long that it begins to break the rust off the gears, and we breathe a giant breath of life into ourselves. When you feel this, you will know it. I promise. The momentum I'm speaking of, it has a distinctive feeling that I can only imagine gets more and more intense when you reach even higher levels of success, levels that I've yet to even reach. We keep getting small wins, but it's just not enough to reach our ultimate goal. There's just not enough missiles to take down the alien spacecraft. Don't get tunnel vision here. We're running out of missiles. In fact, we're all out. Hasn't anyone got any missiles left? We cry out in desperation as plans seem to fail. Hope is draining, and that feeling of giving up is coming back, especially after a few good wins and then a couple big setbacks. Like a woman delivering a baby for a long and painful stretch, all we need is one last push. We can feel it. We know it. You know it, and I know it. Adjusting our strategy in midair, there's one person left with a missile, one person left who may be able to pull off the impossible, someone unexpected and underestimated. Again, hasn't anyone got any missiles left? Sorry I'm late, sir. Kinda got held up back there. I'm armed and ready. What choice do we have left? We're so close. You dig in deep and plow the road forward for Mr. Russell Case. You dig deep into yourself and pull out all the stops. If you're gonna go after big fish, you have to be willing to do big things and sometimes risk significant consequences. Freedom is around the corner, and with his missile jammed, Russell Case has a decision to make. A decision we all have to make. What are we willing to sacrifice to attain our freedom, our family's freedom? The answer's obvious. Tell my children I love them very much. If you're a professional by now, then the choice is clear. The choice was already clear. Like I said earlier, you will have to kill me to stop me from fighting for my own personal and my family's freedom. Physically, mentally, financially, plain and simple. If you don't kill me, I won't stop coming. If that doesn't roll off the tongue and tingle in your fingertips for you, then you aren't ready. And I suggest you start at episode 1 of the American Reveille Podcast for practice and training purposes, of course. So dynamically changing at all angles and all times, we move up life's ladder. We have to be ready to shift positions and maneuver accordingly. We evacuate the outside of Area 51 below ground. The craft moves to our location. All hope seems lost, and all of the rapid decisions one must make in life can become overwhelming, and they do become overwhelming. And again, I promise you, the closer you get to the ultimate goal, the more hectic it will get. And if you make it to that point, you will agree with me. you will agree with me. So again, we're back to one of the most underrated scenes in movie history. Let's give Mr. Case some cover, gentlemen. Let's plow the road. Knowing what we're risking, we prepare to give the final FU to the status quo. We feel the electricity in our fingertips. We feel the energy flowing through us. We know what's coming. We know we're almost there. We can taste it. Hail Mary time. We can hardly believe what we're seeing as Randy Quaid begins to fly a damn fighter jet up the ass end of a miles-wide spaceship. This is the type of crazy courage you need to succeed. This is it. Everything that ever pushed you, every person, every failure, all your ancestors, everyone is with you. And like I said earlier, you'll have to kill me. Instead, we sacrifice our crazy side by overcoming our past and using it as a giant motivating weapon in the fight for our future and our family's future security. Flash! A glowing blue light engulfs the cockpit, and with a maniacal smile and what can only be described as a scene worth 100 awards, we come to peace with our destiny. The light washes over us and represents balance. We know what must be done. Life has beat us down long enough, and it's time to take charge of our destiny. As Mr. Case said earlier in the scene, payback's a bitch, isn't it? So is the realization of our destiny. It's time to become who we were put on this planet to become. Nobody said it wouldn't be painful. So, bathed in light and laughing maniacally, we give the final FU to the barriers in our path, to everybody that ever said we couldn't do it, to everybody, to all the naysayers, to all the difficulty. Hello, boys. I'm back, and in one of the most fabulous cinematic visuals I have ever seen as a kid, Independence Day perfectly explains what must be done to get your first big win in any field of practice, in any profession. It describes the unwritten rules of the road. These big wins add up until Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum nuke the mothership, and you achieve total victory. In the end, you become the person you were meant to be, a combination of all the aforementioned righteous characteristics in total control of one's destiny, capable of things beyond your wildest dreams. You didn't have to change the world. All you had to do was change yourself, and the rest fell into place. So, I'll let you guys digest this. This episode was the finale of one big experiment in teaching you guys how to use your imagination as a tool, how to take everyday things like movies and adapt them to your personal goals for inspiration and motivation. Every story has already been written. It's up to you to mine the gems from them. Everyone in this movie finds redemption. It's a beautiful thing. Every single main character, especially Russell Case, which, if you're anything like me, really hits home. It's truly a masterpiece in writing, in my opinion, and I don't care what anybody says. It's an example of a perfectly balanced movie that allows it to be adapted to a perfectly balanced life. At the end of it, staring at the downed spaceship, Will Smith says to his stepkid, "Didn't I promise you fireworks?" And to me, that's the best line in the movie. That represents the promise that I've made to myself every single day since my first daughter was born, that I would overcome my own idiocy and become the most successful and educated person that I could become, so that I could ensure a future to them beyond my wildest imagination. That's why I'll never stop. That's why I'll never give up, because my children are depending on me to change the world for them, and your children are depending on you for the same. So again, I want to thank you guys. I want to thank everyone who's been following along, and I hope you guys really enjoyed this, the non-sucking Independence Day adaptation and sequel, and I hope you keep coming back for more. Look, remember, we're available on all podcast platforms, and we're always free. There's nothing that you're going to buy when you come and listen to my stuff. It's all free. Just type the American Reveille Podcast in the search bar. I'm also on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, you name it. Again, just search American Reveille Podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll see you next week for the all-new 18th episode of the American Reveille Podcast. So until next time, this is James Lane, clocking out. Peace!